And we're happy to welcome you into a brand new week of Upon Further Review, along with Josh, part of the Statesboro Herald's online team. This is Nate. We're up top of ERA, Hirsch Real Estate Team. If you're buying or selling real estate, talk to the experts. They are downstairs at 408 South Zetterauer Avenue at ERA Hirsch Real Estate Team. Well, we had a busy weekend. It started on Friday night with our high school games. I was out there covering the game for the StatesboroHerald.com, our Friday Night Live. And Statesboro High, I thought, did so many things well, considering when I get up there, I'm told that our quarterback is not going to be with the team. And young Davis Wiggins steps in and makes a start, and I thought played very well.
He really did. I mean, I can't be too biased with this because I've known their family forever.
Of course.
And we're
you
really
can
good
be.
friends.
We all know them.
And he's one of my favorite kids
in
Bulloch County. So
all right,
can't look very objectively at it, but really, I mean, he had one pass dropped. He had one that was completed that the guy fumbled after he got hit pretty hard. He had one go off a guy's fingers. Maybe it was a little zipped, maybe it was a little...
Yeah.
But he threw his first touchdown, and I said, Davis, I saw him on Saturday. I saw him after or during the game as well. I said, your first touchdown pass, you'll always remember, was to Tupac.
Tupac
Caught your first touchdown pass. But yeah, I think he looked really poised. I think, you know, he's to be thrown in and not know you're starting until Friday. He looked great back there. I mean, there were a couple exchanges and things like that, but I think it's addition by subtraction.
Yeah, tough game. You'll see the highlights later on. Crazy plays.
And started off great.
It was Malin Williams' show.
I mean, he was averaging over 40 yards a carry there for a while.
With the first drive,
in a row.
He had all 90 yards of it.
And then
he broke a 67-yard
run.
Right. Then the game turned.
Then they had him playing defense too.
Goes both ways.
It's a little tough, but I know you got to do that sometimes.
We'll have highlights of that. Highlights of BA. They had an exciting win.
They looked really good against Memorial.
And a much lower scoring game than they've been playing, certainly.
Well, and you thought, because Memorial usually has a lot of points. You look at their, not just this year, but in the past, they score a lot of points, and BA's defense played well.
All right, before we talk about Georgia Southern, they played up all week, the Paul Johnson, Brian Van Gorder thing, and BVG. And I used to darken my hair. His is jet black, the beard is jet black, and they did a great job slowing down Georgia Tech.
They slowed them down.
The score is really not indicative of what the game. I left to come out to the Georgia Southern game, and so I didn't see the second.
Well, it was an 8-point victory.
But it was a lot.
It was a little.
Two of the scores came late.
A little more lopsided than that, unfortunately.
And then surprisingly, because we know, even though I took a chance and gave points when we do our picks later in the week, but for Georgia to beat South Carolina, that soundly.
But I said this on the show. I didn't pick Georgia like I should have, but I said that line smells, and it should make you go with Georgia, because how in the world is South Carolina getting 17 points when traditionally these teams are within a touchdown? But Vegas knows something, and when the line looks too good to be true, just like the Georgia Southern, West Virginia, everybody 38. Oh my gosh, mortgage the house. Well, didn't cover that 38.
No, listen. These games last Monday night, I told you I would have bet the house the Philadelphia Eagles would have beaten the Falcons.
Nope,
that didn't happen.
How about your 2-0 Falcons?
Whew.
How about the 2-0 Patriots?
I listened to the end of the game, and I thought I was a homer. Those guys are great on the radio. I'm being serious now. They're funny if you don't care about the game.
Yeah.
Because they were yelling.
They can't be worse than Tommy Heinsohn doing the Celtics.
But anyway, they were going. There was a penalty for on pass interference late in the game on the
Buffalo.
Bills, and he going, "Come on, Rex, you know the rules. You're a defensive
Well,
guy."
but they played this game up. I don't know how much of the national media did, but they were out to set the record for Guinness. They had Guinness Book of World Records there, so they were going to make the loudest. It was going to be the loudest crowd ever. Tom kind of silenced them a little bit.
What did he do? What was the over-under on pass attempts? 60?
I don't know, but
he threw 59 times.
He threw for 450 yards.
Yeah.
And he said, it wasn't my sharpest day.
And how did that game get close? I guess it was a couple of turnovers.
It was. The Patriots were way up, and then they kind of came back.
I'm not a big NFL guy anymore. I'm
a big NFL
I'm waiting for the DirecTV commercial commercial with Peyton Manning.
I follow
going,
one college
hi,
football
hi,
team.
I'm the old Peyton Manning. I can't hardly throw the ball anymore.
He did pretty good at the end of that game.
At the end of the game. Now he's got a new commercial with the skinny legs. They're terrible.
They've got to stop those commercials.
Stop. Anyway.
Peyton will never stop commercials, Nate.
Yes. Okay. Speaking of commercials, as we like to say in the Bulloch County area, we know the man you want to call on for legal advice. That is Lovett Bennett Jr., attorney at law, PC. Lovett's office is located in downtown Statesboro. We'll talk about the Sun Belt and the rest of the weekend in sports when we come back on Upon Further Review.
What a conference, that Sun Belt.
I'm telling you.
They're terrible.
I told you.
So awful.
In 3, 2, 1. Hey, you got all that gear over there. We got to show it off here. The University Store. We got all kinds of shirts.
You talk, I'll hold.
And we got a few shirts. We don't have a home game now for 4 weekends?
A month.
But you got plenty of time to stack up on some of the new shirts that are in there. There's a couple items there.
That's kind of neat.
Stop by at the University Store. And, of course, located right in the middle of the Georgia Southern Campus. That's the new gold
Jeff
one.
Price gold.
All right.
That's what I like to call
Meanwhile, in the Sun Belt over the weekend, let's see. Hey,
Sun Belt Conference.
Georgia State covered.
They did.
They got 28 points.
They did.
Oregon State didn't play Vernon Adams. They played a different guy at quarterback. They did. I said they'd put 60 on him. Anyway, they got 61.
Yep.
Wisconsin kind of shut down Troy, 28-3.
Just a little bit. They did get the field goal, so no shutout.
Arkansas State got 70. They took it out on Missouri State, right? South Alabama now did have a good win.
Yeah.
That was on the road in overtime, beating San Diego State. Texas State lost to Southern Miss 56-50.
Saw that.
Okay.
56-50.
And the New Mexico State boys managed to lose again in overtime to UTEP, 50-47.
I know you're coming up with Idaho, aren't you?
They played our old Wofford Terriers.
Isn't this kind of Wofford's
That's
color?
it. That is, anyway. And Wofford hung in there.
Yeah, they did.
Idaho had to score late. It was actually 10 minutes to go when they went ahead and won the game, 41-38. Georgia Southern, and of course, will head to Idaho. And I see they're leaving on
Thursday.
Thursday.
Not Pocatello, Nate.
No, it's not.
It's Moscow, right?
It is.
They're heading to Moscow.
It's indoors. But anyway, I saw that, Frank Slokowski already posted up. I got to go all the way. They're leaving on Thursday night.
Yeah, well, they're leaving on Thursday night, and I talked to Coach about this, and he said the last time when they went to New Mexico State, I guess last year, he said that travel they went up too late. He said he wanted to get acclimated.
Well,
it's 3 time zones.
It's actually just 2, I think.
He said it was 3.
Is it 3? Okay, I thought they're still in the mountain time zone. But anyway, whatever it is, it's a long trip out there.
Yes.
Okay. And if you'd wait till Friday, which they did at New Mexico State, you get out there and you don't have time for the walkthrough. And you could have the plane delay like they had, I guess, going to West Virginia.
Coach Fritz, to me, he doesn't do the same. If something didn't work,
no,
he changes it the next time.
Certainly. Well, he was certainly animated.
He sure was.
On Saturday because a lot of new guys stepped up. I mean, I had to look at my roster again because some of these defensive players.
Well, he wasn't real happy with the reserves as much. He thought the starters played great.
Yeah, and that's what happens.
He was a little disappointed by the reserves.
What happens when you have a 31-0 lead at the half? And that's, I thought if we would have taken the ball to start the second half and scored, and we didn't. Instead, they came down and scored. Not that they were going to win the game, but I had to give the Citadel credit. They actually had a lot of yardage.
They did.
They turned it over a bunch.
Yeah. Well, now Georgia Southern has finally gotten to the plus side of the plus-minus turnover. After that first game.
Then
the second game kind of got them close. Now they're on top.
Yes, especially with a weekend like this. But again, as I tried to say, you looked at me shocked when I put the point spread at 22.
I really did. I mean, I really honestly thought that they would shorten the game. I mean, the game starts off with an interception that ends up in a field goal, and then it exploded once Breida scored.
Right.
And then it started getting out of hand.
On a 4th down pass on my side of the field, and I'm by the students. Anyway, he had it in his hands, the kid from the Citadel, which would have been a first down.
Yeah, right, the big tight end.
He dropped it. We'll see in your highlights. And again, that set the tone for another drive, and all of a sudden you sensed it getting away from the Citadel, yet they did not change. They were still running the football. I mean, they threw a few passes. their fullback had a heck of a game.
He did, and he broke free in early in the third and
Yeah.
did that. But then Georgia Southern countered, came right back, and really should have been even worse because you got that 67-yard touchdown that the guy fumbles at the end zone.
That's right.
Poor kid, and then they got the yardage for it, but touchdown came back as a touchback.
Anyway, crowd was great.
It was.
They said second largest ever, largest regular
See,
season.
it's tough for you. Like you said, you're looking at the home side.
Right.
I'm looking at the visitor side or the visitor side.
We're on
the upper
north,
deck.
The north, yeah.
The upper deck was full. So.
It was great.
And Sloan was over with you in the beer garden. Did you see her?
She was not actually sitting down in my section, which I was more concerned about because
she said, "Dad, it's kind of wild over there." I said,
not where we're sitting. Trust me, with you anyway.
You're right next to it, Nate.
But trust me, where I am, it's
How
fine.
many people? Hey, Nate! Oh, what are you doing?
We don't. Anyway, I'll tell you another story later on. But anyway, quick reminder that our friends at Family Internal Medicine, Dr. Sergio Dalsania and the staff, they're accepting new patients. Their office is located in the Cotton Ridge Plaza. That's on Fair Road. You can call them at 681-8488 to set up your appointment. Lots of highlights from the weekend coming up next on Upon Further Review. Okay, let me get my high school stuff out for you. So this week,
Army did cover.
yes, right.
Field 57-yard. That was a long field goal. Was
Wasn't 57, but
47,
it was
50, something like that.
right on the last play of the game.
Yep.
Monken called 2 timeouts.
Oh, I did take Ole Miss. I thought I took it.
Here's the games for this week.
Right.
Statesboro,
Yep.
Brunswick, Johnson.
I did look at those before I came.
I was trying to make sure you can read my writing without your glasses.
All right.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And it's time now for our high school segment. It's presented, as always, by Ogeechee Technical College. We'll look at some of the games from this past Friday night. But first, let's take a look at this from OTC. In 3, 2, 1. Well, Josh, as we mentioned early in the show, we had 2 of our teams at home this week. We have those highlights. Southeast Bulloch went on the road and obviously didn't do well against Dodge.
No, it's unfortunate. The 3 losses that they've had are against 3 really good programs. Now they get into the region schedule starting this week, so we should see things turn around big time for them. But we had Statesboro High at home, Bulloch Academy at home. There were some highlights in both. Let's get out and see how things went. All right. 3, 2, 1. Well, unfortunately for Statesboro High, things just kind of snowballed when they got bad for them. This week, they go down to Brunswick. Always been a tough place to play. Seems like Glenn's a little better than Brunswick, so who knows? Maybe you get a chance to get away from home. Things might get better. Southeast Bulloch will be off this week.
Right.
Johnson County, a top 10 team going to Portal. You play ECI, you play Johnson County. Not easy for them either. And we have Westfield coming to Gator Alley.
All right. We talked about those Georgia Southern Eagles. We'll come back and look at the highlights. That's next on Upon Further Review. Okay.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. Well, Josh, we kind of summarized the game, but you have lots of video and then some post-game comments to back it up.
That's right. Big crowd. Let's see how things went at Paulson Stadium. 3, 2, 1. I hope everybody enjoyed that one because you got 4 more weeks before you get to see the Eagles back home. Luckily, you got ESPN3 and some of these places where you can watch, hopefully, the next couple games. But
and we have an open date before they come home against New Mexico State, middle of October.
That's right.
All right, we'll come back and wrap things up in a moment on Upon Further Review. All right, need about 2 minutes here.
Okay, ready.
In 3, 2, 1. Well, let's see some other things from over the weekend. Georgia Southern Volleyball opened up conference action and dropped a couple over the weekend. Of course, Little Rock's the top team in the Sun Belt, the defending champion. They were here on Friday night.
Mr. Volleyball, that's your new
And then
nickname.
Lafayette came in on Saturday. I try to cover them all, so anyway, I'm trying to get the golf results. I didn't get them before we got over.
Soccer beat Belmont 4-1.
Yeah, that was very good. All right, we started the chase with NASCAR now. We have the 10 races at the end. This is the Challenger Series. They have different names for the 3 series to
Okay.
get to the end. Denny Hamlin, who has a torn Okay, ACL.
Wow.
Which he did this week before last playing basketball.
Seems like, yeah, that would be difficult.
Painful.
To do. Yeah.
Painful. I think he shot up pretty good before the race.
Wow.
Anyway,
that would scare me as another driver.
I would, well, it depends what, again, if it's just your leg, I guess you're okay there. Meanwhile, he wins the race, and so that's a big deal. Once you win a race, you automatically advance to the next round, so he can play around the next two races. Kevin Harvick, one of the favorites, crashed early and finished 42nd. And then he and Jimmy Johnson decided to have a little heated discussion at the end. And then,
that's hard to believe.
Well, they got into it. And then golf.
They need to start doing that more in golf. Get mad and go after each other.
Well, they do have weapons, though.
So yeah,
is Jason Day playing golf?
Well, Jason Day's making a case for Player of the Year. I mean, you would have thought it was a slam dunk for Jordan Spieth, but now Jason Day, I mean, he sets a course record, he sets a tournament record, he's setting all these. I mean, he was 20 under par after 2 rounds.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
But Jordan Spieth had shot a hole-in-one and had a birdie and lost stroke somehow on the 3 holes there.
He had struggled a little bit.
This week
they're in Atlanta.
This is the wrap-up, right?
Tour Championship. This will wrap things up. Typically, I've gone up there with Kyler. We're still trying. We'll see how things go. I'm not sure. But the good thing is, over the weekend, we don't have Georgia Southern.
Okay.
So we might go Saturday, Sunday. Who knows?
All right. What a glutton. Just trying to get around that place is fun with Kyler, too.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have a lot more to cover and set the scene for this week when we see you next time on Upon Further Review.